Hello, everybody, and welcome to our latest MoneyHub Live. This one is all about wallets, and it's with Easy Crypto. I'm your host, Doug Shepard, and today with me, I have the CEO and founder of Easy Crypto, Janine Grainger, and the head of product, Johannes Gertz. I'll pop them on your screens now so they can say hello.
G'day, everybody. Great to be back.
Hi.
And it's lovely to have Johannes too. We have two awesome speakers today, and we're super keen and excited to jump straight in. But first, it's really interesting. Today, we're going to be talking about wallets, and I know that it's really important to keep your money safe. But did something happen recently that makes it an extra special time to talk about security?
Well, we have got some exciting new product launches that have just dropped this week, which people might have seen in their news feeds, EDMs from us, that kind of thing. Super excited. So we'll be talking about that a bit later on, but we will be talking also broadly about wallets, give a bit of a 101. Lots of good questions have come through, so we'll try to tackle those as well.
Awesome. Well, I'm super excited, and I'm going to hand it over to you to do this presentation. But first, a couple of housekeeping things for the viewers. We've got some polls going on in the chat on YouTube, so feel free to engage with those polls. We have one at the moment talking about whether you own crypto or not, and 58% of people that have voted do not own crypto, so that'll be really interesting. Just be aware there'll be a couple of polls throughout the presentation that Janine and Johannes will reference. And also there will be the opportunity to ask questions, and these questions will be answered at the end of this presentation. So if you have a question, go over to the link in chat at the moment, the Slido one, click that, ask your questions, upvote some other ones, and the team here from Easy Crypto will answer them at the end of it. I'll come back to ask those questions, but for now, I'll say goodbye and hand it over to the team.
Awesome. Thanks, Doug. Cool. Well, today, 101, we want to talk all about wallets. So we thought we'd start just and seeing that 58% of people here don't have crypto. Maybe this is a good place to start with a little bit of, okay, we'll start with a scan this link to ask questions. So I'll leave it up there for a second, just for anyone who isn't already in the Slido, you can scan that and jump in to see the questions that are coming in and also get involved and ask questions yourself. So to start at the very beginning, we thought we'd start with what is crypto. So we did a bit of a crypto 101 on our last MoneyHub session, but might be new people here and there's never too much 101 to go around, particularly when it comes to confusing things like crypto. So cryptocurrencies are digital assets. So you can think of them a bit like a digital form of money or a digital form of stocks or shares or other types of assets. And because they're fully digital, they don't exist anywhere physically. There's no paper version of them. They're not, you can't hold them, touch them, sort of have them somewhere physical. And that brings us to the next big question of what is a wallet and why do we need wallets? So a crypto asset, you need a wallet to store it. And the wallet is how you engage with that asset. It allows you to send and receive and to do things with these digital forms of money. And there's a great quote here from Mark Cuban, who's a bit of a star in the crypto scene for positive and negative reasons. But one of the quotes that he said, which I think is something commonly held by a lot of people, is for crypto to gain widespread adoption, we need a grandma-friendly app. And I know there's a lot of people here who don't have crypto. Be interested to know, is one of the things that is holding you back the challenge with getting involved and the difficulty with that? Potentially so. So wallets are really important. They are a critical part of how we engage with crypto. The wallet, you might have a whole lot of different wallet apps, and it would be great to get a bit of a view. We'll pop a poll up of, for those who are involved in crypto, how many different wallets do you have? And we'll dive a bit later into the different reasons why people use so many different kind of wallets and the pros and cons of those. But most simply, we need wallets because that's the way that we store cryptocurrency. One of the great things about crypto is this idea that you can be your own bank. You can hold your own assets directly. And that's what a wallet does. It enables you to directly hold your own assets. There's no intermediary. There's no one else holding your funds. There's no one who's sort of restricting your assets. You're purely in control of them yourself. With some types of wallets. So I'll hand over to Joe to jump in and talk about one of the really big distinctions in crypto wallets, which is between custodial and self-custody.
Yeah, so the two examples, custodial means essentially someone else holds your crypto on your behalf. An example of that would be an exchange, like a custodial crypto exchange. Most of the big ones like Coinbase, Binance are examples. The good thing there is if they look after it for you, so you don't have to deal with it looking after it, but there's a massive risk that they lose it on your behalf. The other one is a self-custody wallet. Like Janine said, you are your own bank. You hold your crypto in your own wallet. The downside there is that you need to make sure you've got it backed up, because otherwise you might lose access to your funds. So that's really important. But yeah, you're in control. And why is that so important? What we've seen about a year ago, FTX, the world's second biggest exchange, blew up and had billions of funds, customer funds under management. And it clearly shows that having someone else hold your crypto is a really bad idea, because anyone in the who had funds with FTX will be lucky to see some cents on their dollars back. So yes, that's one of the key reasons why a wallet is a good idea. So you can look after your own funds and not have someone else look at it from on your behalf. Yeah. And next one is what type of wallets are there? There are two types essentially: hardware wallets and software wallets, and both have got pros and cons. Hardware wallets are specifically designed to hold crypto, so they've got secure chips and they're incredibly secure. The problem with hardware wallets, most of them, the user experience is really poor. They've got tiny screens, almost like you feel like you're on a old Nokia phone sometimes. With some of them only have 2 buttons, so if you have to type in a word, it takes forever.
Or like your giant Gulliver's Travels, you're like using, it's like this is a thing for children. They're challenging.
Yeah, they are getting better. Overall, it feels like we're a bit behind the times. Like we all used to modern, amazing smartphones, and when you deal with a hardware wallet, it feels like old tech. Even though they are very secure, they are getting better. The other thing is a software wallet. So a software wallet could be an app that lives on your phone. The good thing is you have it on your modern device. You've got a big touch screen, so it tends to be more user friendly. The challenge with them is you probably more likely to carry your phone around more, and you might lose your phone. So again, it's really important you back it up properly so that you can recover your funds in case you lose your phone. And also, like some of the implementation, some of the wallets out there, from a security point of view, you've got to make sure that, for example, that your private key, which is essentially your banking password, is kept secure, and not all wallets out there do that. So yeah,
and we'll have a chat about that a little bit later on as well. There's a few questions that came through about hardware wallets, so I thought we might not tick those off while we're sort of talking about hardware wallets. And a couple of them came in the same sort of theme of, I've bought a hardware wallet, but I haven't used it because I'm scared to, I don't know how to, it's a bit intimidating, it's complex. And I hear this all the time. I was actually just out with a mate last night and we were talking about crypto wallets. He's like, oh yeah, I bought a Trezor off you guys. And before he said anything else, I was like, and you haven't yet set it up? And he's like, no, I've had it for a couple of years. I keep meaning to, I haven't gotten around to it. And it's just like, I hear this all the time, which is really sad because, like, people are spending good money to buy these good, secure products and then not using them because it's actually quite challenging. And so I think, that we've always sort of had this difference between hardware wallets and software wallets, with a sort of view that software wallets aren't very secure, but they're very nice and easy to use, whereas hardware wallets are very complicated to use, but super secure. And I think these things are actually merging. So we're getting software wallets that are becoming way more secure and getting much better technology behind them. And hardware wallets are becoming easier to use, but I think the improvements there are probably a bit slower. And also because you always have a physical device, there is always a bit of a limitation there. But if you have a hardware wallet, set aside half an hour. That's probably all you need. Watch a good YouTube instruction, set it up, and see if you can, contact us if you can't get it figured out. Or there are people that, there was another question about, are there crypto companies that will come and help you? There is a couple of these. We've got, I think, links to them on our site, or you can message us and we can give you some details. Bitcoin Consulting, a guy called William down in Christchurch, he's one. There's Sana up in Auckland. There's a few other people that can actually come to your house, help you with the setup, help you make sure you're doing it right. And they're trusted people who can help you with that.
Or if you've got a crypto savvy friend who can help you out, that's really handy as well.
There was also a question around using VPN. This actually doesn't matter because when you use the Trezor, it's connecting to your local computer. It's not connecting through to the internet. So when you're connected into your local computer, there isn't actually a VPN barrier there. So that is not, doesn't matter either way with that. And also the Trezor, it's a good safe device. It shouldn't be reliant on things like VPNs to give you that added security. Are there any other sort of Trezor Ledger hardware, software wallet questions? I didn't. Oh, there was one about where to buy them. This is a really interesting one because the question here of does purchasing a hardware wallet directly from the manufacturer not compromise privacy? Yeah, so there have been some big breaches. Ledger had their customer database breached, so the contact lists of everyone who bought ledgers. That is a real problem. Obviously, hugely concerning for people who had bought this product and now scammers, criminals know who you are and where you live. So that is challenging. One of the, better options potentially is to buy from local providers who are, they're not this big honeypot for hackers to try to attack. So, if you buy from Easy Crypto, we are authorized resellers of Trezor, Ledger, and a few other devices. So you can double check that by going to the official manufacturer's website. If you go to see where can I buy from, there'll be links through to our store. And because we use Shopify, so we've got all of the Shopify custom built-in protections, and we're a much smaller, no one's sort of targeting us to try to hack into that. And we do have all of the, the right protections and really good privacy policies around that as well.
I can
cool.
Actually, I was part of, I bought a Ledger and I was part of that breach. So I've moved house since, but my personal address was part of that breach, and it doesn't feel nice, like having, knowing that some hackers had my old address. So one thing you could do is if you've got a PO box, you could send it to a PO box address, or if you send it to your work address, it's another thing of getting around that.
All right, so this is a very interesting stat. I found this when I was doing some surveying of our Easy Crypto community. We're just on the same survey here, and we've got slightly different results here. I think we skew a little bit more new to crypto in this group. I'm just trying to find the results. I've lost them. Oh, here we go. So 14% have more than 4 wallets here, but we've got 41% that don't have any wallets at all. So if you're looking at just the crypto users, probably about a third of them have 4 or more wallets, which kind of underscores the fact that there is a bit of a problem here, right? You're looking for something to store your cryptocurrency in. You shouldn't need to have 4 different wallets to be able to do that. But as an industry, crypto is a new industry. It's evolving and innovating and changing. And one of the things that we've fallen behind on, as Joe talked about before, is the wallet and the user experience and how we make that combination of something that's really simple and easy to use that's also really safe. So we're going to have a chat through some of the problems that we see with wallets today and some of the things that are driving, I guess, those reasons that people have so many different wallets. I personally have 8. I did a presentation not too long ago to a bunch of crypto OGs, and I sort of asked the question of how many wallets do you have? And when I got to, I think 7 or 8 wallets and almost every hand in the room was still up, I just gave up. So it's it does depend on what kind of audience you're talking to, but the fact of the matter is there's an issue that we all have to have so many wallets. The first really big issue is coin support. So this here is the 5 top coins that Easy Crypto customers buy and sell: Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Cardano, and Doge. And the majority of wallets in the world, the vast majority, will only support Ethereum. There's a good chunk that will support Bitcoin and Ethereum, but finding a wallet that supports all 5 of these coins is really, really hard. I can only sort of count 3 or 4 wallets out of the dozens or hundreds on the market that support this whole range of coins here. So this is a really challenging one that if you're a crypto user, you're like, oh, I bought some Bitcoin, awesome, got a wallet. And then maybe next week or next month, you're like, oh, I want to buy this other thing that I've heard about. Then you have to download a separately, completely new wallet just for that. And then you end up with, before you know it, half a dozen different wallets for the 8 different coins you wanted. So this is a really big challenge. Another really big challenge is that privacy is really important. And so with cryptocurrency, there's a bit of a misnomer out there that it's great for crime and money laundering and all that sort of thing. But what people don't realize is that everything you do in crypto is traceable and visible. And so I went to pay a mate we had dinner out. We were in Hong Kong, actually, at an event, and we had dinner. And so I owed him some Hong Kong dollars. And I was just like, tell you what, I'll just pay you in crypto. So I wanted to send him some cryptocurrency, but if I send it from my wallet that I use for all of my other activity, he can see everything, all of the incoming and outgoing transactions. So you might not want to have all of your financial digital asset life happening in one wallet. You might want to have different wallet addresses. And it's also not just about privacy. It's also about perhaps protecting yourself from yourself. Any of us who have engaged in DeFi before know that sometimes you might be engaging with a DeFi smart contract that you're like, I don't totally know if this is legit. There's a small chance it might drain my wallet because, it's a bit fringe, it's a bit experimental. And so it's really nice to be able to separate out your assets into different wallets. And I have a couple of wallets that I use just for DeFi and NFTs, and I don't hold any value in them because there's a bit of a risk that I might click on the wrong thing, engage with the wrong thing, and I just want to have that nice and segregated. So separating out your assets into different buckets for both for privacy and for protection. Another, and I would say the biggest issue with wallets is this one. I'll hand over to Joe to have a chat on that.
Yeah, so this is an example of a recovery phrase, or also sometimes called seed phrase. So a seed phrase essentially is a list of random words, 12 words, that lets you recover your wallet in case you lose it. And yeah, there are lots of issues, as you see on the screenshot. The first one is write down the seed phrase to back it up. And in an age where we're talking about digital currencies and blockchain, we're still asking people to write down on a piece of paper and that's a backup. And there's just, it just doesn't seem, it seems so outdated.
It's a bit of a clash, right? I had one of my friends watch the WTF is crypto documentary. For anyone who hasn't seen this, TVNZ on air has a documentary all about crypto in New Zealand. It's quite a cool watch. Anyway, my friend was watching it and she's flipping this text after going, you're all talking about how amazing and digital and innovative this crazy new world of crypto is. And then you have to write this thing down on a piece of paper and don't lose it and keep it safe. It's like, it's such a disjointed experience, right? So I think, this is version 1 of cryptocurrency. This is how we started out. It helped us get things going, but there are definitely problems with it.
Yeah, lots of problems. Like if you write it down, you put it in a drawer somewhere or put it through the wash, you misplace it or lose it. House fires, maybe not such a big chance. Floods, bigger chance lately in what we've seen across New Zealand. So if it's on a paper, you might not be able to read it afterwards. And just there are a million other ways how you could lose a seed phrase, and don't be the guy on the bottom right who had 321 million in Bitcoin and can't access it because he lost his password. So that's one part, and I'll hand over to Janine for other reasons why.
Yeah, so this is all about you losing it, and if you can't keep it safe. So that's a lot of responsibility to wear on you. But then there's also the problems of not just if you lose it, but what if someone else gets access to it? And the problem with seed phrases is that a seed phrase is complete access and control to your wallet and to all of the funds sitting in your wallet. So if a bad actor gets access to those 12 words, even if you think your wallet's still nice and safe on your phone and you haven't lost it or deleted the app, anyone who has access to those 12 words can clean out your wallet. And this is really problematic, particularly as crypto grows in adoption and AI-enabled phishing attacks and malware tools. They're going to be looking for those lists of 12 or 24 words. So you've got theft, obviously. Someone comes to your house, and there was a really interesting case of a guy in the US who turned out that he was a massive hacker, and but he went to the police because someone came and stole his crypto wallets. And then as the police were investigating it, they found out that the crypto was illegally obtained and he got jailed. So that one backfired. But the point is, someone came to his house and stole those 12 words. So he lost the money there. There's also malware. And again, malware is getting really targeted towards searching and looking for these things. If you take a screenshot, there was a photo editing app that was actually a bit of Russian malware. When you install the photo editing app, it says, give this app permission to look at your albums and your photos. And you're like, well, yeah, of course. And what the app was actually doing was scanning through all of your photos to look for lists of 12 or 24 words that, are seed phrases, and then just uploading those to the malware issuers. And so people were losing their seed phrase, losing their wallets, having them cleaned out and just having no idea why. And this other one here, which is a really scary one as well, was, you're possibly aware that LastPass, which is a password management service, got hacked a little while back. And the contents within LastPass got stolen. And this is a problem because with crypto, you can't just go, oh, I'm going to change my password. Like that wallet is completely vulnerable to being targeted and cleaned out. And you have to be faster than the hackers to get your funds out of that wallet before they can, use those 12 or 24 words. So as you can imagine, I'm not a huge fan of seed phrases. I think they were a great first step for cryptocurrency to get started. Like they gave us a really good way to control wallets, but they aren't user-friendly. They're not secure. We're all sort of living in fear of either losing our seed phrase or having someone else access it. And I think as a world, as a crypto industry, we're moving towards a post-seed phrase world. There's some really cool new tech coming out. Joe's going to talk through some of that in a moment. There was also, anyone who's a bit deeply into the tech might remember Ethereum launching account abstraction earlier this year, and that was a huge moment for crypto. And that's just one of the examples of how as an industry we're moving past seed phrases into more user-friendly, more secure, better ways to do our wallets.
Yeah, so we talked about the issues of seed phrases and them being the single point of failure potentially. And there's one technology that's really interesting called multi-party computation, or MPC. Multi-party computation has been around for a while. In the crypto space, it's been used mainly for like more in the B2B space, like more enterprise grade security. But lately it's been trickled down to the consumer wallet space as well. And it addresses some of those issues we've got. Like, let's say with recovery, if you try and recovery, there are no checks and balances in place with the seed phrase. But with MPC, how it works is for a software wallet, you hold the wallet on your device and you've got one key share. So the private key is broken into two key shares, and one of them is held on your device. The other one, Easy Crypto provides the infrastructure to store that on your behalf, and then the two need to work together to do a transaction, and that allows us to put these extra checks and balances on top. For example, if you try and recover a wallet, we can get you to log in and make sure it's really you, and put these checks in, and it removes that single point of failure we've got with seed phrases. And if we're going seedless and removing seed phrases, then of course we need to make really sure we've got robust recovery and backup methods in case you lose your phone. And we've put a lot of effort into this because we want to keep customers crypto safe. And a novel concept is social recovery, where you can get trusted friends or family to become a recovery contact. So Apple's introduced it recently to restore Apple accounts, and
I was really pleased to see that, because I think it's going to help us, like, this is going to be more normalized, right? And I think I think having the human and the trusted human interaction is a really powerful tool against AI and AI-enabled scammers.
Yeah, and that's a really good point. And the way social recovery works is when you install the wallet, you invite 3 or more trusted friends or family to become your guardian. They accept the invite. And then let's say you've got 3 friends, you lose your phone, you install the app again, you request them to have you recover the app, and then 2 out of the 3 need to respond, and you'll be able to recover your wallet. The other thing is an encrypted cloud backup. Uploading something to the cloud, like a screenshot of a seed phrase, is a bad idea, but in our case, it's an encrypted backup. So it's with multi-party computation, it's very secure actually. And you can just upload it to Google Drive or iCloud and then recover it in case you lose your phone. So yeah, that's really important for us. And yeah, always take your time when you set up a wallet, like Janine said earlier, back it up when you set it up. For us, you can use both backup mechanics. So yeah, take your time. Don't set up a wallet in a rush. yeah, that'll be the key outtake, and just make use of these awesome mechanics we can do.
Cool. So that probably brings us on to, as I signaled at the start, we've got a bit of an exciting announcement. So we'll just finish with a really brief overview of what we've built, and then we'll jump into the Q&A, and it'll be really interesting to, have a chat with, if you're not using a wallet, would this solve the barriers for you for wallets? If you're already using wallets, how does this compare? And where do we think wallets are going next? Because I'm quite keen on that long-term view of how does this shape out into the future. So we have launched yesterday the Easy Crypto Wallet. So we've got 50 coins in here at the moment. As I said at the outlet, not all wallets store all coins. We're still in that category, but we're working hard on getting it to parity with Easy Crypto. So Easy Crypto has 160 different tokens, and over the next couple of months, we'll be working hard to make sure that everything you can buy and sell on Easy Crypto, you'll be able to store in the Easy Crypto wallet. We've got a few things on the immediate roadmap, XRP, Sol, Doge, Litecoin, I think are the first ones coming up. But we are working on all of the cryptos. The ones that sit on their own blockchain are the trickier ones, but we're definitely working hard at getting those in. We have the multi-party computation, so what Joe was just talking through. And again, I'm a huge believer in this as the big step forward for crypto, moving away from seed phrases, away from those vulnerabilities and risks, and into something that's more controllable, as in you can fully control how and when your wallet is backed up. How and when your wallet is restored or recovered. Social and cloud recovery, we've got those two options to start with. You can use one of them or both of them. We've got multiple wallets and accounts, so you can have that privacy and that separation of assets. You can spin up an extra account, set of crypto addresses just at the touch of a button, as easy as if you were like putting another suffix into your online banking. Probably easier actually, because it's literally just one click. I'm sure a bank is not that easy, but it means that you can have those assets separate and have them for different purposes. Maybe your long-term saving, maybe some accounts for the kids, hodling, DeFi, whatever you want. We've got all of our different fiat currencies supported. We've got second two-factor authentication like biometrics and pins, and you can buy, sell, and swap inside the wallet as well. So what we've got coming up next, we're going to bring in the ability to import your existing wallets. So, this is something that I'm personally looking forward to, because as I said at the start, I've got about 8 different wallets, and to be able to just grab them and import the funds into this wallet so that I can have everything in one place will be pretty exciting. We will be adding more coins. I know the XRP community in particular are really keen, and we're working on it. We'll be getting that up soon. Looking at additional recovery methods, the more ways that we can give you that are safe and secure ways to back up your wallet, the better. We want this to be the unlosable wallet. Bringing in things like notifications, price alerts that you can if you're interested in knowing when your crypto is moving this way or that. More levels of multi-factor authentication, the more security we can layer and bake into that, the better. And we've also got some other kind of cool, fun features that we're looking at bringing in. At the moment, I think we've just popped up a poll of we're having some debates internally as to, do we do credit cards? So giving you the ability to use your crypto in your wallet to pay at merchants. The merchant doesn't need to accept crypto. They don't need to know. They will still receive New Zealand dollars or Australian dollars, but you can use your crypto to pay. Or do you want to have staking, which staking is the crypto equivalent of having interest income. So having an account that sits there and earns some money, passive income. Cool. So I think we're just got a few more slides to close out, and then we can jump in on the questions. So I want to talk about what's next for wallets. Now, I am a very big believer in assets are going digital. And, we've seen this massive shift in how the world works over the last 20, 30 years as information went digital. I was old enough to enter the workforce before the internet was really properly a thing. And I remember, physically receiving information in the mail that I then had to update, internally our systems with this information. Whereas now all of that information is just digital, it's streamed, everything's online. The world has changed so massively with digitized information. And so the next big shift, I reckon, without a doubt, is digitization of assets. So, real estate, land titles going online, commodities, stocks and shares, your identity. Your identity is an asset, and that is already in the process of digitizing. That one's going to be moving fast. Investments, equities, Also money. Crypto is the first version of digital money, but we've got a whole lot of reserve banks around the world looking at central bank digital currencies. So how do they take normal money and make it digital? Hong Kong and Australia have both been doing trials on this really recently, and there's lots of other governments with projects in the wings. New Zealand's a little bit behind, but we do have a New Zealand dollar stablecoin. That was another thing we launched yesterday, was NZDD, a New Zealand dollar stablecoin. So it is a digital representation of the New Zealand dollar. Super handy if you are trading crypto, or say, you've made some gains on Bitcoin and you want to lock in those gains, but you don't want to have to go all the way back out to money in your bank account with all of the delays and friction of that. You could just swap your Bitcoin into NZDD. And then if you see a dip and you want to buy back in, swap it back in, and it's real fast and instant. Sorry, slightly sidetracked there, but yeah, digitization of assets. I think that's where things are heading. And so I'm really interested to see how that shapes out for wallets, how we can build wallets that allow people not just to hold cryptocurrencies, but all of these different digital assets and engage really safely and easily as the world digitizes. So I think that was the end of our little presentation spiel on wallets. Keen to know what you guys would like to see in wallets, or where you think this space is headed. Also fire through any other questions that you have. And we'll have hand back to Doug to help sort of moderate the questions coming through.
Awesome. Thank you so much for going through that, both of you. It was incredible. I myself dabble a little bit in this space, and I thought I knew a little bit about wallets, and basically I'd say maybe I knew 3% of what I should know. So it's really awesome going through this and actually having two very educated professionals tell me what I do need to know. I've got a bunch of questions. Everybody else has a bunch of questions. So let's jump in. The number one question at the top of Slido at the moment is, do you recommend an individual having multiple wallets to store their crypto in, kind of like diversifying your holding across a few different wallets?
I think this comes down to your level of trust in the wallet provider. So, at the outset of saying, you definitely want multiple wallet addresses. You don't want to have all of your stuff in one bucket, because that puts it at risk of if you click a dodgy smart contract, something like that, but also it exposes all of your finances to anyone that interacts with you. So I think for privacy and security, definitely multiple addresses. But you should be, what I think we should be working towards is and what I want to build with the Easy Crypto wallet is a wallet that the security is good enough. You are comfortable enough with this being your one wallet. And, I'm working on being able to bring all of my crypto in. I can still separate it out into different accounts, have different addresses, but it should be a good enough, secure enough wallet that I can, I'm happy to back it and put all of my funds in there. So your mileage varies. It's really up to you. I personally find the risk of managing multiple wallets and multiple keys probably higher than the risk of having it centralized, but it's really a personal choice.
Yeah, and it's really interesting to see you and your company move into this space with providing your own wallet. And I think there's a lot of questions that are being asked around kind of custody. So I'll ask kind of two questions at once. One of them is, saw you just announce a wallet, but I thought Easy Crypto wasn't custodial. Why is that? And then another one which says, how can Easy Crypto wallet be self-custody and offer recovery at the same time?
Do you want me to grab that one, Joe, or are you going in?
Yeah, no, you can if you.
Sorry, Doug, give me the first part again. I just had a moment of distraction.
Oh, yeah. So it was just saying, I've just actually.
I can talk to the self-custody and recovery thing, because I think that's a really important point. So I'll just start rambling on that, and then you can throw in the other question if I haven't answered
Sounds
it.
Good.
I think as a crypto industry, we probably need to have a bit of a mind shift around what self-custody means, because it's always been, I have those 12 words, therefore I own my crypto. As we move past seed phrases, post-seed phrase as well, that I'm very sure that's where we're going, what does self-custody mean? So if I've got a wallet that is fully within my control to send, receive, to move my funds in and out of, that's self-custody of the asset. So you've got kind of two, and one of the big risks of custodial services like FTX is when someone else controls the asset. And if you hear some bad news in the media and you're like, oh shit, I need to get my money out, you can't, because they've closed the doors on you, right? So with a self-custody wallet, you're always able to move your funds. And then the second bit is around the recovery. And this is where I think what we're building is self-custody plus, or enhanced assisted self-custody. And that is, the recovery isn't fully just down to having those 12 words, because the risk around those is so high. But instead what you've got is you have the ability to initiate that recovery, and you also have the ability to set parameters around it. And this is what we're building out towards, is what does that look like in terms of, if I want to reinstall my wallet onto a new phone, say I've changed devices, I want to be getting an email confirmation to myself to say, hey, is this really you? I want to have a password confirmation. I want to have perhaps a 24-hour time delay on that, so that, you know, any wallet restoring is going to take at least 24 hours, which gives me a chance, you know, if some scammer, you know, manages to get my password and tries to do that, I get a notification, I know about it. And so it's basically like, I, as the end user, as the holder of the wallet, get to put in place all of those parameters of how does recovery work and what does it look like. And the wallet software is facilitating that for me. So it's kind of a weird, I think the concept of custody, non-custody, is that real binary is probably not going to be the way going forwards. It's more of all on your custody, all on someone else out of your control custody, or a thing in the middle where you own the assets, they're in your control, but you've got some backups, some safeguards, someone's helping you wrap code and logic around that makes it more secure and more, less risk that someone else could ever steal your crypto, and less risk that you can lose it as well, which is really important.
And with recovery as well, if safe custodial wallets and recovery can still go hand in hand. For example, like the cloud backup that stores it into your personal cloud account. So that's not stored with Easy Crypto or anything like that. So you're in control of that backup.
Awesome. Thank you both for that. Yeah, it's a really interesting topic, because obviously today's all about kind of security and everything. And a lot of people are, I guess, they're contemplating how secure crypto is, and there's all these discussions, and it always has been. Is it as secure as, you know, money under my bed or in a bank account or stocks? Just everything has its own validity of how secure it is. And I think some people are willing to invest and engage in financial products that maybe have a little bit more risk with maybe a smaller amount of money. And I think a few people have been really interested in knowing how much do you think before I need to buy a wallet? So how much do I need to have invested, or percentage of salary? And you know, it's going to be it differs and it depends, but are there any rules of thumbs or any takeaways the audience can have with maybe what milestones before they start considering a wallet, or should they just have one from day one?
Again, I think this is your personal view varies, right? I would never store more with a centralized exchange than I'm willing to lose, right? Like, you just don't have confidence that, you know, even the biggest exchange in the world can go offline, right? So don't store more with someone else than you're willing to lose, is my rule of thumb. And then when it comes to things like, do you want to get a hardware wallet? It's really your personal preference. And again, I think that we're moving to a place where software wallets, which are so much more easy to use, are becoming secure enough that added defense of you have to have a hardware wallet, that's probably blurring a lot for a lot of people. But also we're looking at things like, you know, with our wallet, we're like, hey, can we add in a hardware wallet as an additional add-on for people who really do want that, to be able to have those things work together. So yeah, I don't know, Joe, if you've got some views on that.
Yeah, I think, like you said, it's what you're comfortable with and what feels right for you. I think that's a really good answer. So you can't say a certain amount, and if you reach that amount, you have to go somewhere else. I think it's everyone's financial situation is different, so it's personal risk level tolerances are different. So whatever you're comfortable with, but making the conscious decision, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing that both MoneyHub and Easy Crypto promote a lot, is just, it's all about education, right? Like, we're an education website. You have amazing educational resources. I just chucked a link in the chat before about someone was asking about how they follow the most popular coins, and even on your page about buying Bitcoin through your website, you can look at the performance and you can read about the history of the token, and you're always promoting that people should be really informed about everything that there is to know about their investment. And I think that's a really big theme of today. We're just trying to encourage people to really think about it. And like Joe was saying before, 30 minutes YouTube video, go set it up. Just take the time to really protect yourself and to know what you're getting involved in, because it is your money. You go and you work for these things and your investments, and you need to protect them. So people are, continuously looking for different ways to, I guess, make money. Cryptocurrency as an investment can be one of them. And I think one of the things that some people are a little bit worried about is sometimes within the crypto space, there are, scams. And we've talked before about these things in the numerous presentations Janine has come on and shared with us. But one of the recent ones, which I think we have touched on before, is the Celsius case. And someone has asked, like, how do you know if something is a scam like Celsius? Like, it looked so legit to someone who is asking this. And then, like, what do you kind of look for to know whether it's safe or not?
Yeah, this is a really good question, because you've got different types of scams. You've got like pure outright scams, and then you've got just really bad investments where you don't necessarily know that it's a scam because it presents so legitimately. And Celsius was, the second one of those. I remember like when the stuff came out, like I looked into Celsius and I was interested in investing in them, and I couldn't figure out how they made the returns they were offering. And particularly when I started looking into, gosh, it's not Avalanche. I always get these names wrong. What was the other thing beginning with A? But we that invested a lot of their funds, which was connected with Luna, which is what it all actually started to collapse. But it's like, that's one of the good rules of thumb is, we've always said if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. But with crypto, like, do dive into it, try to dig under the hood. Like, crypto is really transparent, and anyone should be able to explain where the funds are coming from, where investment is coming from, and it should make sense. Like, Aave is a really good example. If you look at the Aave model, it makes a lot of sense. They take your funds, they lend them to someone. The person who's borrowing pays a higher rate than you receive. That's a pretty obvious, easy transfer. So do research, dig into it, try to see if it makes sense. But the other thing is just spread your risk, right? Don't put all of your investments into one thing. So if you've got like, $10,000 to invest, don't put it all into one. If you put that all in Celsius, you would have lost it all. Whereas if you'd split it maybe into 4 and put some in Aave and some in Celsius and some in, some other DeFi protocols, at least, they're not all hopefully going to go down at the same time.
Yeah, that's a really big thing. And I think we talk about it a lot in the more traditional, I guess, investment side as well. As if things seem to be too good to be true, like anything in life, you have to really try to understand why does it seem so good, right? And I think as Janine said, she couldn't understand how it was making its money. And I think if you're at that point, it's probably quite a difficult thing to really want to be investing in. But it is tricky because, as you say, they present themselves as legitimate investments. I do remember a phrase that used to go around quite a lot, or still does. It's not your wallet, not your coins, or something. And it was like how people were sending their coins to someone else and they get this interest. So it's tricky. But as you say, there are legitimate ones out there like Aave that yeah.
I think one of the ones that I liked on that was, if you don't understand the yield, you are the yield, which is a way of saying if you don't understand how this project's making money, it's probably because they're just taking your money.
Wow, that's a really good one. I like that. So
yeah,
hopefully
and I do like on that. Like, it's really important to back yourself and to sort of, anyone, if you're doing your research, like, things can look all shiny and amazing. And I really struggled with this myself a couple of years ago when all the yield farming and DeFi was really blowing up, and I was looking at projects and going, I don't understand this. Does that mean I'm dumb? And turns out in hindsight, it wasn't that I was stupid. It was just that there was no substance there. So do back yourself and do ask hard questions, and don't be afraid to be like, seems like Emperor's new clothes, because there is a lot of that in crypto, sadly.
100%. And I think one thing that people sometimes forget is just Google it and YouTube it and just see, like, is this a scam? Because people will post videos and they'll uncover things. And if you're not sure, try and lend on the community. Go to Reddit, go to other forums, and try and ask questions. Because if it is the money that you're earning from your job, then you really want to know it's secure. And so paying attention to presentations like this, asking questions, all really good ways to go. So we'll keep jumping into the questions. Someone has a really interesting one about the age of their wallets. They say, I have a 4-year-old Ledger Nano wallet and I've never felt confident to use it. Are the latest Ledgers and Trezors more friendly to use, or are they kind of the same?
They're the same, sadly. Joe, I think you have some sort of suggestions on better hardware wallets, right? But from my experience, actually, Trezor's getting worse, if anything, because they are not keeping their software well updated against all of the phishing attacks. Like, there's like 1,000,001 fake USDT tokens out there, and Trezor doesn't put the correct one to the top of the list. You just have to like rifle through this list of like 100 scam tokens, which is really disappointing and makes it a bit hard to use. But that's my rant. Joe, you had some better maybe hardware wallet suggestions?
Yeah, there's some interesting developments. I think the Ledger Stacks is one example that's a beautifully designed hardware wallet. I think Ledger got one of the iPad designers in, and that's the first time it seems like a modern device. But that was announced a year ago, and you could sign up for early access, and I think a year later, and you can still can't order it from the website. It still says coming soon. That's a really interesting one. They're getting better, but they're not at our standards are really high with the latest smartphones and amazing technology, and hardware wallets are way behind still. So, but a few, there's the ex-Twitter CEO, Jack Dorsey's done a wallet with a fingerprint scanner and a really nice companion app, but then it only supports Bitcoin because he's a Bitcoin guy. So yeah, I'm sure over the hardware wallet space we'll get more user friendly over the next few years. But right now, it's a lot of them are painful to use.
Yeah, and actually, because we just mentioned a few terms there, and I can't remember actually if you did an exact slide on this thing, but maybe if one of you could just run through, what is a hot wallet, what is a cold wallet, what's a software wallet, what's a hardware wallet. We'll just go right back to basics because there's quite a few questions asking what each one specifically is. So what is the difference between all these types again, as a kind of recap?
Yeah, so hardware wallets are physical devices. So ledgers and trezors, and there's maybe a dozen or 24 different types out there. So they're a physical device, and they're usually typically referred to as a cold wallet, which is kind of a technical term that says that wallet is not connected to the internet. So there's sort of like an air gap between that wallet and the internet. It's not online accessible live for people to try to, attack. A software wallet is a wallet that is a piece of software. So an app on your phone quite commonly, or maybe a website that you log into, or an application that you download on your computer. Those are all software wallets. And software wallets are also referred to as hot wallets, which is that sort of distinction, where the hardware wallet is offline and segregated, the hot wallet is connected to the internet, and that, it makes it really simple and easy to buy and sell from them because they're live and online. But it does mean that you need to have really good security because there's that, they have that higher risk with them.
Perfect. Thank you for that. And it's really like tying together kind of two of the last questions. Someone's asked, is there kind of like a software update that happens every 4 to 5 years, like with mobile phones, with these hardware wallets? Like, do you need to constantly update them yourself, or do you need to go and buy the latest model with the newest operating system like a phone? How often should you, I guess, update versus buying a new wallet?
Most of the common hardware wallets offer firmware updates, and that's gotten a lot better over the years. Like I remember, like a few years ago, before doing an update, they were asking you to back up your wallet, which made me a little bit nervous. So now the firmware updates are relatively straightforward, but you can update them. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can kind of just have an older one and just update it with the firmware. You don't need to go and keep buying the latest wallets and things like that.
Yeah. Follow the manufacturer's recommendations, but I haven't bought a new Trezor in years. But it is important to update the firmware so that if there's any bugs or issues, they're proactively patched. Cool.
Awesome. And then there's a few questions around security. So someone has asked, can you please elaborate on wallet security, and what exactly is the issue with storing multiple crypto in the same wallet?
There's no.
So I think.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
Yeah, I think the question might be less actually about security and more about the kind of approach that you were mentioning before as well, like slightly diversifying. But I think they're also trying to tap into like what's actually happening that keeps the wallet secure as well.
Maybe so what Janine was mentioning before is you've got a wallet, and then within a wallet you can create multiple accounts or wallet addresses, and so when you're interacting with smart contracts like DeFi, for example, it just interacts with one address. So if you've got all funds in that one wallet address, then what Janine was saying, it could potentially drain that entire address because you're signing with that account. So there's fund separation for privacy reasons, or when you do DeFi or Web3, you connect your wallet to an app. But anything else, Janine, you might want to add?
No, I think there is one in here as well on like a question around coins and multiple accounts. So maybe I just sort of talk about that, because that's a little bit of a slightly interesting thing in how our wallet works, and that we've got you can create a wallet within the app, and in that you can have multiple accounts, and each account can hold all sorts of different cryptocurrencies. So you don't have to have a separate account for each crypto. But every time you spin up a new account, that is separated, private, completely different from your other accounts. So each account is multi-crypto, and then each account is completely sort of air-gapped or separate from another one, which is quite cool. And then I think there was also a question as to why we had multiple wallets. This is possibly more of a longer term thing, that the wallet, what we've put out so far doesn't fully leverage the potential here. But the way I like to think about it is, again, similar back to bank accounts, right? That I could have, in my app, I might have 3 wallets. I might have a business wallet that I use for easy crypto things. If we're buying or selling goods and services with crypto, I might have a personal wallet that's just for me. And then I might have a shared account with a friend or a partner, or perhaps a separate wallet for, kids or family or something like that. So you can sort of think of these different wallets as maybe having different ownership structures. And then within each one, you can have different accounts to give you that privacy and separation and different addresses.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's really thorough. And there's actually a kind of feature-based question on the wallet here of how far away are you from importing existing wallets, especially Coinbase?
Yeah, we're looking to launch it fairly quickly, so that you can actually import a seed-based wallet, and we then turn it into an MPC wallet. So you'd still have to make sure you protect your seed phrase, but you'll be able to import the wallet, and we won't store the seed phrase on our device, because we'll apply MPC technology to it. So from our point, it'll be really secure. Just make sure that you keep your seed phrase safe. But that's if we want to support external wallets, we have to allow that. But we're very excited about having, not having to transfer anything, but you can just import existing wallet. So that's, we're really looking forward to that.
Cool. No, that's awesome. And you just mentioned the acronym MPC, and someone's asked, how's MPC different from MFA?
Should I take that one?
You can. Yeah.
So the MPC is, multi-party computation. It's what Joe was sort of talking about how you take a seed phrase, which is your access to the wallet, and you break it up and store it in different places to give you good security over, there's no one attack space or no one vulnerability for your seed phrase. It's stored separately. MFA is multi-factor authentication, which is just a computer term for doing another step to verify something. So every time you open your phone and you have to put in your PIN code, that's a multi-factor authentication. Or if you get a text message with a code in it, that's a multi-factor authentication. So lots of different apps will use MFA, and each one is just another step of security or another barrier to someone, stealing your data or stealing your funds. Yeah,
makes complete sense. And we are fast approaching the end of the webinar, so we've got 2 final questions. The first one is, are there any reputable companies in the main centers that help people set up web and hardware wallets?
Yes, so I can drop some links in, or maybe, I don't know if you're doing comms afterwards, but Bitcoin Consulting, a guy called William down in Christchurch. I think he's still in Christchurch. And San from Kiwi Crypto up in Auckland. I think we've got links to them at Easy Crypto. We at Easy Crypto don't sort of have a service that we can come to your house and help you do that, but there are people who do. And also, if you know of people that provide this service, let us know, because we're always looking to have a good range of trusted providers that we can refer people to should they need that kind of hands-on help.
Perfect. I will get those links from the Easy Crypto team and put that in the the email that goes out to everybody that's attended, so we can get that across. Now, the final question is, what wallet and process would you recommend for an absolute beginner who is tech inept, needing to transfer Bitcoin from one existing wallet to another one?
I would, and this is not just because it's our team's one, but I would recommend the Easy Crypto wallet, because I think for beginners, and in fact for most of us, seed phrases are not, they're not good, they're not helpful, they're not secure, they're not a great way to work. And anyone who's tried to explain to seed phrase based wallet and how to keep that secure to someone who's techno, you know, a little bit of a techno noob, it's not user friendly. So I'd say give the Easy Crypto wallet a try. If it doesn't meet your needs and if it's not actually useful for that, come and give us some feedback. We'd love to know how to make it better. But I'm really confident that it is the easiest beginner wallet out there, because you just install it and you're good to go. And you've got these backup options that are nice and safe, and you're not at risk of being locked out or losing your wallet or having that seed phrase compromised.
Awesome. What a great way to finish. And with that, I will say... Exactly. So good. So with that, we'll wrap it up here. I'll pass it over to Janine and Joe if you have any final comments to share with the people.
Now, look, just from me, like, thanks everyone for dialing in. It's so awesome to see the interest and the engagement. All the questions coming through were awesome. I know we didn't get to answer all of your questions, so do hit us up if you want to follow up on anything. And yeah, if you give the wallet a try and you've got any feedback, like, we're so keen to learn. You know, it's our first version, it's our brand new baby. We want to make it so much better. So come and give us your thoughts and feedback on how we can improve it and what you'd like to see and where you think the future of crypto is heading.
Awesome. Thanks for having us. Yeah. Likewise, thank you so much for coming along, Joe. Thanks, Janine. And to everyone watching at home, I will grab some contact details for you to be able to send through any questions and any feedback about the products and everything. So with that, we'll say goodbye to our lovely presenters. Thank you so much for coming along.
Ka kite.
And with that, we will be wrapping up the presentation and entire webinar today. So thank you everyone for coming along and watching. Like I said, there'll be an email coming out with all of the information that we've talked about today, links to this webinar if you've missed it, and some contact information so you can send through your questions and also your feedback on the new products to the Easy Crypto team. We also have a range of content on our website that discusses Easy Crypto, so please go along, have a read, go through to their website and read all of their awesome content as well. And with that, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for coming along.